this is Kevin Zugschwert. We're going to break down Come Together by the Beatles. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel, and thank you so much for your support. Let's get into it. The first thing we need to do for this song is change our tuning to double drop D. And what that means is we're going to take the 6th string here and tune that down to a D note, and then we're going to take the 1st string and drop that down to a D note as well. Use your chromatic tuner to do this. For this intro, we're going to play the 6th string 8 times for each measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and on top of that, we're going to play with that the 5th fret on the D string to the 7th fret on the D string. Slide into that. Then grab the 6th fret on the B string, then the 7th fret on the G string. So when we combine that, this one measure sounds like this. We want to play that through 4 times total. For this verse, we're going to do a straight blues rhythm you've probably seen before. In 8th notes, one measure would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and open strings, top 2 strings, twice, to the 2nd fret, top 2 strings, twice, and then again, open, twice. That's one measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now with that bass line, we're going to play the bottom string, the D string technically now, on the 3rd fret here, and we're going to play that 4 times. I'm going to pick that with my middle finger of the right hand because my thumb's going to be playing the bass line at the same time. So that would look like this. Then I'm going to go to the B string on the 3rd fret, to the 1st fret, and back to the 3rd fret on the B string there. And we're going to do 2 measures exactly like that. So that was the 1st measure. The 2nd measure would be the same, going. So the same notes on the melody there. Then we've got 2 measures of a slightly different melody, but the same notes. So we're going to play that bottom string again. This time we'll hold that and play only 2 more times to the 3rd fret on the B string, 1st fret, and 3rd fret, just like before, and another measure just like that. Now let's combine the bass line with the melody line. For this next part of the verse, we're going to be on the A string with a straight blues shuffle just like before. We'll be on the 2nd fret of the D string to the 4th fret of the D string. And that looks like this here. That's one measure, and we'll do 2 measures of that. Next, we'll add the melody line with that, and that starts on the B string at the 5th fret. I'm going to use my pinky there. I'm going to play that twice. To the 3rd fret. Back to the 5th fret. Then in the next measure we'll go 3 to 5 also. So again, those 2 measures on the melody are. Now let's combine that bass and melody line together. In this last part of the verse here, we're going to use a G7 chord. In this tuning, we're going to need to hold the 5th fret on the top string and the 3rd fret on the bottom string. We're going to kill that A string there with the ring finger, so that's going to be a dead note. You want to kill that there as you strum all 6 strings for this. And as we hold that, we're going to then play the bottom string 7 more times for this measure. Then 2 more times for the next measure. To the open string, back to the 3rd fret, then slide out. Both measures together now. And now now for the chorus part, we're using this B minor 7 chord here at the 7th fret. I'm going to bar the 7th fret up to the 3rd string, the G string there, and then I'll grab the 9th fret with my ring finger on the top string and my pinky on the 9th fret of the D string. So that's the B minor 7 chord there. I'm going to start out with just the bar as I play this part on the G string twice, then to the 1st string, the E string there, before grabbing this ring finger note, then the pinky and the B string. And then I'm going to pick a pattern with those same notes there. I'm going to pick the 6th string, 3rd, 4th, 2nd, 6th, 3rd, 4th, and then I'll pick the open A with the 7th fret of the B string at the same time there to the open D. So once again slowly. In this last measure of the chorus, it's a simple melody line on the B string here at the 5th fret and 3rd fret. I'm going to pull that off to the open B string. Now with that, I'm going to play the bass note on the top string of the 5th fret and then the open D string. So to combine those two things, we have this. Then I'm going to grab my pinky on the 5th fret of the A string here, and I'll pick that twice and slide to 7. And rest. Then I'll slide into the 4th fret of the G string to the 3rd fret of the B string twice. Now let's repeat the intro lick one more time, but let's add a note to each of the melody notes. So that would look like this. So that's the added note there. Previously we did just the 6. Now I'm going to add the 5th fret of the G string. And now I'm going to add the pinky to this 7th fret pattern here. So we're going to have the 7th fret on the G string and 7th fret on the D string on that. And we'll play that 4 times. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel, and thanks again for your support. If you'd like to get my help personally and get a lesson online via Zoom, click on the link in the description at kjzmusic.com, or get a lesson in person if you live here in Colorado. I'll see you next time.